Haha, evil crowdfunders. You forgot one. Yeah. You better run, jerks. Priscilla, are you okay? Should I kiss it better?
I learned too late, that crowdfunding is bullshit. I am sorry, Captain Crowdfunder. I'm too stupid to live.
Well, he got that right.
We're Cleanest, a revolutionary system for mixing your favorite products with an easy-to-use appliance, concentrated ingredients, and reusable bottles. Just add water from your own tap, and at the press of a button, you mix up products that are better for you and better for the planet. Why? Because you make them yourself, with naturally derived ingredients in these beautiful reusable bottles that will eliminate hundreds of single-use bottles and help shrink your carbon footprint. And the coolest part is that you save money because we're only shipping necessary ingredients in minimal packaging. Our system features patented micro-batch technology that lets you easily and safely mix a very wide range of products at home for the first time. Here's how it works. Ingredients pouches are delivered directly to your door. You load them into the appliance along with an empty bottle. Select the mix type and Cleanest does the rest. In 2 to 3 minutes, you will have a perfectly mixed product that is ready to use and guaranteed to work. We launch with a complete line of 10 everyday products, even thick ones you probably never thought could be easily mixed at home. All products will be available in either free and clear or naturally scented with botanical extracts and oils. We never use dyes, synthetic fragrances, or harmful ingredients. If you're feeling creative, you can even personalize the free and clear concentrates to mix your own scent creations. Cleanest was co-founded by 3 brothers who spent most of their careers on the inside of the packaging and ingredients industries.
As suppliers of plastic packaging, we felt like we were part of the problem, and we wanted to be part of the solution.
They were also in the know about the high water content in most products and thought we all deserve a better deal. And this is only the beginning.
We have the team, we have the experience, and we have the passion.
Help us fund Cleanest, and together, let's mix it up for a cleaner home, body, and planet.
Okay, I get it. Everybody wants to be mindful of the environment, and everybody wants to be eco-friendly. As a consequence, any product that is being crowdfunded out there grabs everybody's attention if it touts itself as eco-friendly. Why? Because most people don't realize exactly what eco-friendly truly means. Frankly, if you truly wanted to be eco-friendly, you would have to eliminate human beings from the surface of the earth. If you were to drop a human being completely naked, with no tools whatsoever, right into the middle of a pristine rainforest, they would immediately begin to have an impact on that environment. Therefore, if you really examine it, a product like this one that purports to be eco-friendly, it's almost immediately having an outsized impact on the environment if you take the time to examine what they are showing you. Want to see? Let's go. First, just looking at the sleek lines of the high-tech look of the product that they are touting here, it's made out of plastic. So are the reusable bodies that they want you to use, as are undoubtedly the packets that they send you that they want you to use in this device to squeeze in order to get your eco-friendly soap. And how about those small bottles of fragrance? What are you supposed to do with those bottles once that fragrance has been used up? In fact, what you do with any of those bottles once they have reached their usable service life, if you said throw them into a landfill, go to the head of the class. The entire concept in use here is called greenwashing, making something seem more eco-friendly than it actually is in practice. It's an incredibly effective marketing tool that has been used in crowdfunding for various kinds of products for some time now. This one is no exception because they have raised $38,441 of the total $20,000 goal from only 259 backers, and at the time we were shooting this, they have 30 days to go until the project is considered to be closed. That's a lot of money based on the people that want to feel good funding this feel good science. But of course, that was the whole point, wasn't it? Some other questions that you may want to ask yourself has to do with the delivery that they show you for the various base products and materials necessary to continue to use that base product. Once again, if you look at the video, they show that the delivery is being made to someone's front door, and I would have to assume that there is packaging involved as well as use of fossil fuels in order to get that package to someone's front door. What are the ecological savings at this point? All the services use resources, many of which are not necessarily eco-friendly, right? Add into that what happens to the intellectual grandfather, Juicero, when that product completely and totally failed on the marketplace, and you had to wonder the following. If this company stops producing the packets for this particular device, manufacturing the device, or simply goes out of business for whatever reason, what happens to all the plastic involved in making this device and the various reusable bottles? I would suspect that your landfills are going to be that much fuller. Not to worry though. That endorphin feel-good rush that you get when you think that you're doing something for the environment may sustain you. Maybe it will even keep you and this product out of crowdfunding hell. But frankly, I wouldn't bet on it. Well, I need to calm down a little bit. Maybe this will make more sense. It's by Quantum Machines Corporation. Yeah, if they have the word quantum in it, that should mean something, right? That seems to be a big buzzword now in crowdfunding. And what do they got here? Correlation engines. Well, I don't know what that means, but let's see. Devices to correlate angular momentum in a system resulting in the ability to set the radius between any two masses. Well, that's clear as mud. Maybe if I looked up some definitions. Okay, let's see here. Angular momentum. Yeah, that's from physics, so that means that's good. It's the quantity of rotation of a body which is the product of its moment of inertia and its angular velocity. Okay, well, maybe this over here to the side is going to tell us something a little bit more. Angular momentum. In physics, angular momentum is the rotational equivalent of linear momentum. It is an important quantity in physics because it is a conserved quantity. The total angular momentum of a closed system remains constant. Okay, let's see if we can find out some other ways this works. Well, it's resulting in the ability to set the radius between any two masses. I wonder, does this have anything to do with gravity? Let's take a look at the wall of text and see what he has to say. Okay, under the heading What We Plan to Do, let's take a look at that first paragraph. In this project, we are going deep in an attempt to change the way we get around in the world, which can't help but change how we do everything else. Everything else, okay? And importantly, why we do it, all in one logically coherent package. Well, you're not doing so well so far, but Let's see, this project is in the technology section because it will deliver a device which does useful work. Okay, it could just as well be in a humanities section because it also aims to deliver a change in understanding about who we are individually and collectively, and through this, a change in how we conduct ourselves and how we treat one another and our environment. This is making about as much sense as a gasoline-powered turtleneck sweater so far. Let's look a little further down, shall we? To accomplish these goals, we must address a series of missteps in our understanding of the natural world which have accumulated over time. This isn't looking good. We start with some history to set the stage, then get right into the technical considerations and conclude with a philosophical discussion. While a deep mathematical and experimental review of this material is beyond the scope of this summary, we will address the important topics at a high level. It's starting to sound more and more New Agey, isn't it? I'm going to skip further down and let's get into some of the technical aspects. I'm a hell of a lot more comfortable there. Well, we seem to be getting more and more into the New Age stuff. It says right here, to move forward, some logical errors in our scientific heritage must be addressed. I will only list a few here. We must begin with Newton. Philosophically, as well as mathematically and now experimentally, we have demonstrated to our satisfaction that all force-free motion is orbital, not linear, as Newton had theorized. Aristotle, to his credit, logically deduced 2,500 years ago that the trajectories of all freely moving bodies must be closed. As it turns out, orbital, elliptical, and precessing. Oh boy, this is definitely a wall of text, and I've got to admit that there's an awful lot of gaga stuff here as far as I'm concerned. We're going to go a little further down. Let's get into some of that more technical stuff. This is going to be good. Yeah, this is getting really weird. What we now actually observe at all scales through our telescopes, microscopes, and other instrumentation is that everything is orbiting everything else and spinning about its own axis to one degree or another. And this next part really gets me. Further, this essentially infinite angular energy cannot be destroyed or disconserved, only changed in form. As to where all this energy came from, or who or what set everything in motion, that is not a question for science. One must consult a theologian from any of the many human religions for further discussion. For the present purposes, it is enough to understand that this is what we have been given to work with. Anytime you start trying to bring in theological beliefs into science to explain science and vice versa, you're headed for a really hard fall. Now, that's my opinion. You may have a different one, but frankly, I will take my opinion. Now, this is going to go a little bit further and further as we go down the wall of text, because as you can see, it keeps going down, and it comes about talking about angular momentum as spin and orbit primary forms. And then what is the atom really? Well, if you read comic books, it's a guy named Ray Palmer who was able to get some white dwarf star. Well, no, we're not going to go there. Anyway, let's keep going down the wall of text. And, oh, wait a minute, here we go. A better way to move around in space. Based on this updated understanding, we are ready to actually do something. That's good, because I'm waiting for you to actually explain this stuff. We have become accustomed through the course of the 20th century to placing artificial satellites in force-free orbits around the Earth by adding to them significant amounts of orbital angular momentum. Enough, in fact, that they force-free fall around the planet every 90 minutes. Whoop-de-doo. Anybody in grade school should know this one. But let's see, next logical step will be to constrain the satellite's orbital angular momentum to that of the Earth's at its surface. Now he's talking about getting geosynchronous orbits. What has any of this got to do with what you're trying to bring to the market? More text, more text. And now, oh God, a 4-minute history of the future. This is ridiculous. This guy is trying to get us all killed in boredom. Oh, wait a minute. Why this is not anti-gravity? This is ridiculous. It goes on and on and on. What in the world are you trying to do? Tell me, tell me. Well, they're going to tell me what they'll do with the reward, but what? This is incredible. On and on it goes. I think I may just shoot myself just to be done with this thing. What are the risks and challenges? It may take longer and cost more than we expect to save the planet, along with all its species. Nonetheless, we must start now before it's too late and press forward, no matter what obstacles present themselves. Well, I'll tell you the biggest obstacle, guy. After going over your stuff here, I still have no idea what it is you're trying to accomplish. And I doubt that anybody that actually has any money knows either. In fact, let's take a look at the beginning one more time. Well, this incredible breakthrough marvel of the age out of Austin, Texas, he's got $100 pledged of the $2 million goal from one backer, but he's got 28 days to go, so he only has that long to be able to convince anybody he's really got something. And I hope that he's not relying on the wall of text we just went through, because that is so bad. But it's your money. Use it wisely. As for this campaign, I have got a cell right next to all of those other perpetual motion type devices, waiting to visit them in crowdfunding hell.